Welcome to the Bluffton News. I'm Anneliza Itkor. Join me as we discuss the latest news, take a look at what's going on in business, town hall, entertainment, and hear from this week's newsmakers. Let's start things off with Bluffton's current headlines. The dream to dress up Dubois Park in Bluffton's Old Town is taking shape. A surveyor staked out the park last week for Phase 1 upgrades, and construction activity is beginning. Bluffton-based Kenneth Scott Builders has teamed with Beaufort's Martin and Lindsay Landscape LLC and Carolina Engineering Consultants Incorporated in a $130,000 design-build contract. It's a major start for a multi-year project to transform the 1.25 acres on Boundary Street between Lawrence and Lawton Streets. Currently, it's basically open street with some trees, a tiny playground, and the former Bluffton Library building. Along with landscape plantings, work will include building sidewalks and pathways, a rain garden, arbor swings, fencing, and parking. Lighting and irrigation is included along with other hardscapes such as trash cans, benches, and bike racks. The schedule targets an August completion. And Low Country foodies are in for a treat. Plum's Restaurant is opening a location in Bluffton. Lance Price, owner of the downtown Beaufort restaurant, says the restaurant would open at the end of March or beginning of April in a building in the Belfair Town Village shopping area. Contractors are working on the building in Belfair located next to the International House of Pancakes. Price also owns Saltus River Grill in Beaufort, and this is the first duplicate restaurant he's opened. Plums in Beaufort is known for using local ingredients and changing its menu to fit the season's harvests. The restaurant opened in 1987. Eric Thornton, who worked at Sapphire Grill in Savannah, will take over as chef at the Bluffton location. Price said the restaurant is hiring for all positions. Interested applicants can apply online at www.plumsrestaurant.com. And Experience Green invites the community to sustainability as a systemic methodology, a roundtable discussion on February 28th, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Palmetto Electric Co-op on Hilton Head Island. The event is hosted by Experience Green with the Low Country Economic Alliance as its presenting sponsor. There is no admission fee, but seating is limited, so advanced registration is required. Experience Green is a nonprofit organization with the mission to build sustainable communities. A sustainable community is resilient against systemic shocks and consistently offers citizens the ability to thrive without compromising the welfare of future generations or the health of the environment. Visit www.experiencegreen.org to register. And speaking of going green, mark your calendars for March 3rd when residents may dispose of unwanted cleaning products, harmful chemicals, and expired or leftover medications at a special collection event. Again, this will be Saturday, March 3rd from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Beaufort County Public Works Facility, 9 Bentonfield Road, Bluffton. Officials ask that residents tighten caps and lids on products, leave them in their original containers, and keep medications separate from hazardous materials to speed collection. They recommend placing the containers in boxes in the trunk or the back of cars on Roundup Day. Fireworks, ammunition, and smoke detectors will not be accepted. Wilbert Roller has filed a revised commercial development proposal for his big vacant tract at Burnt Church Road and Bluffton Parkway. This comes after Roller's voluntary withdrawal of his lawsuit against Bluffton that protested his first rezoning application denial by the 2006 Town Council. As before, the application proposes changing residential zoning to a planned unit development called Old Carolina Shopping Center. The application seeks a mix of commercial and residential uses and again suggests the anchor will be a grocery store. The Bluffton Planning Commission at its Wednesday evening workshop at Town Hall will hear a presentation about the project. If you would like to attend the meeting, it takes place Wednesday the 22nd at 6 p.m. at the Town Hall at 20 Bridge Street. You can view the full agenda online at townofbluffton.sc.gov on the home page. The Girl Scouts of South Carolina, Mountains to Midlands, and the Girl Scouts of Eastern South Carolina will join with elected officials, community leaders, and 100 Girl Scouts to declare 2012 the Year of the Girl. This event is part of a nationwide declaration by the Girl Scouts of the United States of America and serves as the foundation for the Girl Scouts' broader, multi-year, multi-pronged effort to break down societal barriers that hinder girls from leading and achieving success in everything from technology and science to business and industry. During the Year of the Girl, local Girl Scout councils across the country will mix celebrations of the organization's 100 years as the premier leadership experience for girls and efforts to create a sense of urgency around girls' issues. A 44-year-old man was startled by the sound of a bullet traveling through his two-story Woodbridge home Thursday evening while taking a shower. The man, whose girlfriend was home at the time, heard a loud noise that sounded like a small explosion of sheetrock about 4 feet away. He dried off to find bullet holes in an exterior and interior wall lined up with a bullet lodged in an upstairs bedroom wall. Fortunately, no one was injured. Deputies later discovered the bullet was fired by a 14-year-old girl from a yard across the pond from the Parkside home. The teen was home unsupervised with a 15-year-old girl and apparently fired her father's .40 caliber semi-automatic pistol. The girl who fired the weapon has been petitioned to appear before Beaufort County Family Court for unlawful possession of a handgun and being an incorrigible juvenile. The shooting caused $1,000 in structural damage. When we return, BJ Fraser from the Bluffton Sun will join us for more in-depth coverage of Bluffton's latest news in Hot Off the Presses. Welcome back to the Bluffton News. Now, earlier we were talking about some of the improvements that are going on in Bluffton. Well, joining me now is BJ Fraser from the Bluffton Sun, and he's going to give us a little more insight into some of the current projects that are going on. Welcome, BJ, and what can you tell us about some of the infrastructure changes that are going on in Bluffton?
Yeah, sure. I think I'll start with Dubois Park. It's on Boundary Street, and there have been discussions for the past 7 or 8 years concerning improving that unsightly mess, to put it frankly. As a matter of fact, there are people that move there with those improvements in mind that they're going to happen shortly, and the planning process and the whole funding process has taken, as I said, 5, 6, or 7 years. And finally, they've started work, and it looks like it's going to include parking, pathways, a rain garden, and some arbor swings. And now this is the end of February, and it's supposed to be completed by mid-April. And it's a long time coming, and it's going to be a wonderful addition to that side of Old Town.
Terrific. Now, there's also an awful lot going out on 278. Anyone who's heading down 278, we see all of the barrels alongside the road and all of the construction that's going on. Can you expand a little bit more on that?
Yeah, they are currently going to expand it from 2 lanes east and 2 lanes west to 3 lanes in each direction. And that's going to be from Simmonsville Road on up to 170. And what that will do, obviously, is during the heavily congested times, it will give people the opportunity to cruise on up to 170 and on into Beaufort and down to Sun City. And the big change will be that right now is the speed limit. It's 45. I personally never exceed it, but I have seen people that have gone upwards of 60 or 70 miles an hour because they come off of I-95 heading towards Hilton Head, and they still think they're on the interchange. And, you know, it's quite a shock to come down to 55, and now it's at 45. So there's been a lot of minor accidents and speeding tickets and all sorts of excitement.
Right. Now, infrastructure can mean something as huge as that 278 expansion as something as small as a lamp post. And I understand you've got some information about something about a lamp post that's going on in Bluffton.
Yeah, just last week, another project that's been on the boards for a while that completes the streetscape on May River Road that runs from Burnt Church on up May River towards the Cahill's Market. And of course, the streetscape was completed a couple of years ago, and a really nice finishing touch has been the installation of these period old town typey lampposts that have just been installed. They look fabulous. It brings the whole area up to another level of historic beauty.
Well, it's always exciting to hear about the ways that Bluffton is changing and growing. So, BJ, thank you for joining us and bringing us up to speed.
Thank you. And just one more thing, if I could. The Bluffton Parkway extension news is it's going to be open within the next 6 weeks, which again runs from Moss Creek on up to Burn Church. It's going to be a fabulous way to get around the traffic on 278.
Well, that's very exciting news. Now, after this break, we'll be joined by Shelley West Hodges, who's going to tell us what's going on in terms of business. Welcome back to the Bluffton News. Bagels, yogurt, and bowling, oh my, three of my favorite things. And joining us now for the business report is Shelley West Hodges. And she's got news about 3 brand spanking new businesses in Bluffton. What do you have to tell us, Shelley?
Thank you, Anneliza. We have 3 great places that have opened up in Bluffton, and the first is the Palm and Moon Bagel, and that is owned by Chris and Rainey Stout, and this is a second store for them. Their first store is over in Beaufort, where they actually make New York-style bagels, and then they ship them over here, and they're made fresh daily. They offer breakfast and lunch, and they're located over at the Public Center over at Buckwalter Place. And a great couple, and they're very excited to be here in Bluffton, and I encourage everybody to go out and see them. The other place that's opened up recently is called Loving Spoons Yogurt, and that's located over at the Kroger, next to Kroger, over at the Belfair Town Center. And this is a new franchise. They're based out of Savannah, and the couple that opened that is Craig and Tammy Case. And they actually went to Florida and found out about this franchise, and they are the first franchisee of Loving Spoons Yogurt. And it is a self-serve. They have 12 flavors and 33 toppings, and it's great for the kids. It's a 70s style theme, and the kids should get whatever flavor they want, load up on any toppings, and just go straight to the checkout counter with their desserts. And it's a great place, and we're happy to have them here. And the other larger facility that is open that's very exciting for Bluffton as well is Station 300, which is a bowling alley, arcade, and restaurant all tied into one. It has something for all ages, and we're happy to have them here. They also have entertainment on the weekends, and looking forward to more businesses opening up in Bluffton, and it's a very exciting time here.
Well, as we were talking about Plum's Restaurant earlier, also expanding into the Bluffton area, it's really exciting to see these local area restaurants growing internally. It's really neat to see.
Yeah, I think there's room for plenty more, and we're excited to have all these new businesses here in town. Thank you, Anneliza.
Tonight we are at the grand opening ceremony for the Beaufort International Film Festival, and I'm pretty excited to be joined by Powers Booth, kind of a legend of an actor, having appeared in over 61 film and television projects. I'm sure you would recognize him from things like 24, Deadwood, Tombstone, Red Dawn. Welcome, Powers. We're delighted to have you.
Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure to be here.
Now, what do you think of our little international film festival we've got going on here?
Well, it's all new to me. I mean, obviously, we're just getting started. Certainly, I came in 2 days ago and I've stayed with Tom Berenger and his lovely girlfriend, Laura, and we've had a great time. We got to be good friends last fall in Romania doing the Hatfields and McCoys. It'll be on the History Channel Memorial Day. And I had heard about this community going back to my friend Nick Nolte when they shot Prince of Tides here. And he called me and invited me, and I said, sure, I've never been to South Carolina, and I'll be happy to come and help. And so here we are.
Now, you're sort of a different kind of Southern boy coming from more the Texas area. What do you find the difference to be from sort of this southeastern area to the true Southern Texas area?
It's a little more laid back here, and it's probably the best word maybe is a little more genteel. A lot of class, and but in a very genuine and charming way that I think has to do with just It's a cliche, but Southern charm.
That's all right. We like our Southern charm here. It's one of the
So do
reasons
I.
why a lot of people come down here.
Yeah, so do I. I think it's a good thing, frankly. And to me, it's always been people that don't understand Southerners or the South. They have all these cliches about us, and I always get angry when they're laughing at us and not with us because they don't know what they're talking about.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Well, we're delighted to have you down here presenting the Gene Rebo Award for Excellence, I understand.
Yes, I'm happy about that, and can't wait to hear what Tom's got to say. I guess he's giving it to me something, but no, it's a great pleasure. I love to support film, and particularly young filmmakers and new filmmakers, and give them an opportunity to show their stuff to folks and generate some excitement about it, and hopefully you find gems and careers begin and all this kind of thing. And I love writers, and my favorite writers, for the most part, are from the South. And maybe it's because I understand it, but I don't know. It's the way of speaking and the lilt of the language and the style and all that. And you can certainly see how living here you would have that in you and be more down to earth. I mean, early on in my career, I had a place in East Texas, and when I was going to do a movie or something, I'd always get out of LA and go there because you don't really play anyone from LA. And I always wanted to be with what I call real people and animals and things like that to get really in touch with the earth and go. And of course, that's all around you here. So.
You're definitely going to find a lot of very real people in the Low Country area, and we are delighted to have you join us. Thanks, Powers.
Well, that's the great part of it, is the real people.
Absolutely. Well, enjoy the party.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
This is a very special moment for me. I'm here at the grand opening ceremony of the Beaufort International Film Festival, being joined by Tom Berenger, who is kind of a Beaufort, I don't want to say native, but definitely sort of a hometown hero. What are you thinking about the festival this year so far, Tom?
I'm really impressed with the job. I really didn't talk to Ron too much about what he was going to do, but one thing I noticed was that they have all the films at the University Theater now, which makes it a lot easier. And apparently that's like a brand new screen and audio system, which will be nice, and it has plenty of seats. There's I think about 5,000 people this year. So it just keeps growing, and I love this space they have here, this room and the outside deck. I think it is brilliant.
Yeah, the party itself, it's just been amazing tonight. Tons of people here, too.
Nothing wrong with the Armory last year, which is kind of cool and historical, but this is so perfect for this type of venue.
Well, you can't turn right in Beaufort without running into history.
That's true, yeah.
Now, you've been involved in a little piece of history yourself lately. You and Powers Booth, who we were talking to earlier, with the Hatfield and the McCoys.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know how long that feud was. Everybody just generally
way too long,
100 years or something, and I think it probably went on 30 years, and then maybe kind of fizzled out in another 20 years or something. And
now this is a television project you're working on, right?
Yeah, this is for the History Channel. It's 3 nights, maybe 4. I think 3 over 3 nights. But of course, being cable, they can run it over and over and over again.
Sure. Now, when is it airing, though, originally?
Well, they told us June. They didn't get any particular day in June, but lately they're running some stuff, on the internet, like trailers and things, and they're now saying Memorial Day, which is last week of May.
Well, this is all very exciting. Living in the Low Country area, and even in Beaufort, it has definitely a small town atmosphere, so having some really phenomenal actors like yourself and Powers come out and spend time with us, it means a great deal. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you. Great.
Welcome back to the Bluffton News. Coming up now, we have our entertainment segment all about Bluffton, and joining me is Rodney Vaughn. Rodney, what's going on?
Hi, Anneliza. Thanks for having us today. The first thing I want to talk about today is a great production that's taking place at the May River Theater in Bluffton. and the production is entitled, I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change.
I love the title.
If you've ever been in love or wanted to be in love, this is a perfect show for you to go see. It's really, really hilarious. It is a musical comedy with 4 actors and dozens of costume changes.
That's great. What else is going on?
Well, I wanted to say that the show is going to be running through March the 4th, and the tickets are available at the door. I would suggest everyone go and see it. We're also having in Bluffton a red chili cook-off, red apron chili cook-off. That is sponsored by the Bluffton Self-Help, and it is a fundraiser for them in coordination with the American Red Cross. You can enter your recipes at the location, which is Tanger 2 Mall, and it's going to be held this Saturday from 9 to 5. And you can buy your ticket at the door for $15, and if you bring a bag of non-perishable food items, you can get a ticket for $10, and you can sample all the chili that you'd like, up to 20 different styles. So that's something fun that's going to be happening for the family.
Now, I understand they're going to have all different categories of chili, and that is going to be a delicious event indeed. What else is happening out there?
Exactly right. Shelley Hodges touched earlier on the Station 300 Family Entertainment Bowling Center, and that is really exciting. I paid a visit out to the facility last week, and they do have 24 lanes of bowling, a restaurant which is seats 100 people, and they have cosmic bowling after dark. You can book the space for private parties and functions, and they're open till 2 a.m. on the weekends, so it's going to be a good long time for everyone.
I'll tell you, I've been out to Station 300 already, and I've been with just my husband, and I've been with a group of people, and it was equally a blast both times I went. It was a lot of fun.
It is really great, and it's a $7 million facility, and we're blessed for it to be the first one in the state of South Carolina.
Terrific. So there you have it. We've got, you can go see some theater, you can eat some delicious food, and you can go bowl off all those calories. Thanks for sharing all of this with us, Rodney.
You're welcome. Thanks, Anneliza.
And now it's time for you to meet Chickpea, a boxer lab retriever mix who's looking for a happy home. With a face too cute to resist, all who meet her are immediately smitten. So come and meet Chickpea and see if you make the grade. I'll give you a hint, she loves belly rubs. For more information on Chickpea, visit Brooks Haven Animal Rescue at 25 Buck Island Road, or you can call 843-757-7387. Thank you for joining us on the show that is all Bluffton all the time. I'm Anneliza Itkor for the Bluffton News. See you next time.
You're watching WHHI-TV in Hilton Head.